All right, the video today. I said on the board that this would be about percent of change, and that was one of our vocabulary words that you wrote on your note card. That's just a ratio of the change in a quantity to the original. It's expressed as a percent. So we're going to actually do one problem on percent of change, and then we're also going to do one problem on tip, because we did not get to that in class. So percent of change. This example is going to be about a lamp. Okay, and what is happening with that lamp? Well, the original cost of this awesome lamp to light up the mathematical classroom instead of the lights above on the ceiling, I bought this really cool lamp, and the original cost of this lamp, you guys are going to be surprised that I bought this lamp from the classroom, but the original price, $180, people. Yeah, 180. But you know what? I love my classroom so much, and I'm in it all the time, that I wanted a lamp that lit up the room beautifully. And it was also just an awesome lamp. You're like, Miss Everly, your lights are always off. What are you talking about? You don't even have a lamp on. Yeah, you're right. I actually haven't brought it to class. I have it home. Okay, anyway. The original cost was $180, but guess what? I didn't pay $180. It was marked down to how much? Well, $150. You might be like, that's not that much off. Well, for me it was good because this place never has sales. So for me, this was good. I thought, I need to buy this now. So my question here is, I want you to find the percent of change. And in this case, the percent of change is known as the discount. So most of you would be able to see, well, it went down by how many dollars? What would you have to do with those numbers? Well, we need to find the change amongst the numbers. How do we find the change between the two? You subtract them. Okay, so that's going to go on top of the ratio. And most of you could do that in your head and end up with $30. It went down by $30. And then I'm going to put that as a ratio over, that's the numerator of the ratio, over the original amount. So what did it start out at? $180. Okay, so there I have my ratio, but now I need this ratio expressed as a percent. So how do I make this into a percent? Well, if you have a calculator, you could actually get after it right now, because I could take 30, and then what operation is that fraction bar? Division by 180. So I'm going to take 30 divided by 180, see what decimal I get. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. 30 divided by 180. Ooh, I'm at 0.16 repeating. So I'm going to write that out here, 0.16 repeating. Okay, so it just keeps going like this. So what percent is that? Well, remember, percent is out of a 100. So I need to look to not the tenths, but the hundredths place. So the percent discount, it's going to be a decimal here, 16, it's about 16%, but 16 point, I'm going to be exact here, 6 repeating percent of the discount. Woo! Hey, it's more than 10%. Pretty good for that lamp. Okay, so we just did one on percent of change. So I said I wanted to do one more, and that was on tip, because we did not get to that in class. So let's go ahead and do one on tip. And this problem is going to be about Nancy. Miss Nancy. So example 2 about Nancy. And guess what? She has friends. If you remember Margie, she had 4 friends. Nancy, she has 2 friends. Okay? So Nancy and her two friends. Yep. So how many total is that going? Well, that's 3 people. 2 people plus Nancy. They paid a 15% tip at a restaurant with a bill. Here was their bill. $53.74. Okay. They went to a restaurant. They paid 15% tip on a bill of $53.74. Then they split the total evenly. How much did each person pay? Okay, let's find what amount of tip that they ended up paying. So you guys, when you calculate tip, when you go to a restaurant, we've been working with sales tax all along. Tip is based on the price of your food without sales tax. So you don't do it on the actual total. You do it on the subtotal. So this was the subtotal without tax. So I'm going to find $53. I'm going to find 15% of $53.74. That's how much these girls are going to pay for a tip. So 15%, what is that as a decimal? If you're unsure on the calculator, you're doing 15 divided by 100. Or maybe you just know it now. 0.15. Of means multiply. And 53.74 means 53.74. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply that out. 53.74 times 0.15. There I have it, but now I need to round it to money. So I ended up at 8.061. But in money, I'm just going to go to the hundredth spot. So is that going to be $8.06 or $8.07? That is $8.06. So is that all they're paying? No. So they have $53.74 plus the tip of $8.06. So in total, these women, if I add these two things together, calculate it out, you can either do it by hand or make use of the calculator. And I'm at $61.80. So is each person going to pay that? No. Nancy's not that willing to pay for her friends 61 bucks. So she's going to split that up. How many of them are there? There are 3. So I have to take this amount and do what with 3? They're splitting it evenly. So if I take that, either divide it by hand, which most of you would choose not to, or on the calculator, I'm taking 61.80, dividing by 3. There it is. How much money is that? Hopefully you did not say $20.06. So that's $20.60. Now I'd like to say they're each paying $20.60, but I'd actually be lying because they still are responsible for the sales tax, right, people? But that wasn't included in the problem, and when we calculate out tip, we don't use the sales tax. So they're going to end up paying a little more with sales tax, but as of right now, that's approximately how much each person is paying. Yeah, can you believe that? Going out to a restaurant, you're paying about 20 bucks, a little over 20 bucks for your meal. Get used to it, people. Bye!